Welcome everyone to the live stream. It's Kellen Nitro for Nitro's Take Live, happening and coming at you this weekend on Nitromaniac TV, here on YouTube. tinyurl.com/Nitromaniac TV. We are live and interactive, so feel free to drop a comment on anything in the wide and wacky and wonderful world of wrestling. Over in the comment section on Facebook or in the comment box on YouTube. I'm going to bring him in right away, live from the Rec Room of Doom. It's Mr. TL. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Why is it a Rec Room of Doom?
I'm a fan of alliteration.
The Rec Room. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
It just popped to mind. It's not a permanent name. We could change it later. I mean, it's not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. But
I will be tirelessly working on ways to improve that. I'm just saying.
It's its current NXT name. How's that?
Oh, God.
Today on the live stream, we're going to be talking mostly about the WWE cuts, and this is going to be a lot of fun because while I was kind of in the know for these cuts as the news started breaking earlier this week and so on and so forth, Mr. TL, you have been avoiding social media altogether, so this should be really interesting to see what's up.
I did not know there were WWE cuts until you told me such thing earlier today.
Yeah, well, yeah, basically. I might have texted you earlier in the week to get you on the channel to check your availability, for this weekend, basically saying, yo, there were WWE cuts. And then you were like, okay, I'm in, kind of, sort of, but that's how it went down. Basically, it's that you're coming into this ice cold.
Yeah, I don't know who's been cut. So this is going to be like as live can be.
Like cooler than being cool, ice cold. All right. And we got some. I'll share my opinion a little bit later on Ring of Honor and the hiatus as well. I haven't done that yet. Since they announced it, I think about a week or so ago. They just wrapped up their last round of tapings, potentially ever, maybe. Just for this iteration, I guess, of Ring of Honor over the last week, and they have one pay-per-view left in December that they will do, and then that is it. So we'll get to that a little bit later on. But first, go. Question.
Are they out of business? What happened?
What's that?
Are they out of business? What happened?
We'll get to it.
Oh, God.
That's called a hanger. That's called a cliffhanger. So people, hang out on the stream. If I give all the information forward, nobody listens later, right? So, or watch.
I want to hear this too. I don't know what happened.
Well, you're captive because you're in the box.
I am in the box.
You are the box.
I'm in the box.
In the box. Yeah, for sure. Quickly, just want to touch on something, and I had been asked about this in direct messages from a few people and so on and so forth about the future of Nitromaniac TV's Wrestling Unlimited. I know that over the past few months, uploads on this channel have not been as frequent as possible. Quite frankly, I'm just not happy with the subscriber count. So I'm taking some steps to kind of improve the product and that stuff. This will probably be one of the last kind of live streamy on-camera things you'll see in this configuration. I'm going to invest in some set stuff and maybe create some sort of backdrop or something behind me here that's a little less, generic, I guess, TGI Fridays, and hopefully get rid of the over-impulsive sunlight that's coming out of the window there. But
you looking for my TGI Friday setup?
No, I'm talking about mine. I'm not happy with mine. That's it.
Okay. All right.
But the channel is not going anywhere, not at all. We've got this month alone, we will have live opinions, recaps, probably in this format because this format is awesome to do. I love the live streaming. I love the StreamYard software that I'm using for this. This is just phenomenal stuff. I'm just starting to learn how to use it, so it looks phenomenal. It's a lot of fun to do. We will have opinions and results, you name it, with AEW Full Gear coming up next weekend on Saturday, with WWE Survivor Series coming up, I think, the weekend after. I'm not exactly sure when, or the weekend after that. I think it's the weekend after Full Gear. And potentially whatever the name of the NXT show is in December. We don't know if it's a takeover. We don't know if it's anything, but something will pop up. So I'm kind of focusing on those free events as they pop off over the next few weeks. So, my goal is to get at least something out for each of those. And then as for the kind of edited, kind of long form content on the channel, reviews, classic pay-per-view reviews, classic show reviews, and that stuff, I have a request from friend of the channel, Nick Opolewski, that I got to take a look at and watch for him and put up there. So hopefully over the next couple of months that'll show up. And then by that time, Christmas is coming, so inevitably have to try and find something somewhat festive to throw up there, whether it's classic Raw or something. So I don't know. I'm getting spittle. I'm spittling. So I have to drink some water because I'm spittling.
Okay, so while you drink that, I'm going to just fill time for exactly 3, 2, 1, and we're back with Nitro here.
The perks of going live. There's a giant thing of spittle right on the top of my lip, and there's like that, and I'm like, man, this is like Hacksaw Jim Duggan at the '88 Rumble. Anyway, yo, by the way.
What? That just reminded me, it was like the Owen Hart promo. I think it's after he beat Brett at WrestleMania 10. He just had this gob right there the whole time. Yeah. And I'm just like, ugh.
The one in the hallway, or was it it was the Rumble, 94. The one in the hallway. The infamous, I kicked your leg out of your leg promo.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, WrestleMania 10, he beat Brett as an opening match.
That was a hallway as well, yeah. Yeah, that's the hallway at MSG.
He just had that gob right here. Like, I beat you, Brock!
Do you think, knowing Owen, as we do as fans, that was 100? Yeah, it was purpose.
That was on purpose, 1,000%.
He was ribbon. Boy, be ribbon.
Well, it's a heel thing. It's like you can't cheer for a guy who's just like mayonnaise on the side. Got the something about Mary thing happening. It's like, what the hell? So, reports of our demise have been greatly exaggerated. Do not believe whoever you hear. We are going to endeavor to make this bigger and better and try to get more subscribers. 125 so far on YouTube. If you guys dig what we're doing, please pass the links around and we'll try and grow that and make it better. And just saying, it takes 1,000 subscribers to start to get looked at for monetization on YouTube. So once we get into 200, 300 subscribers, we can start aiming our direction towards that, which is awesome stuff. So, yeah,
damn, exactly. All right, time for the bulk of the fun of this live stream. The WWE cuts from Thursday, November 4, 2021. Yes, we got the news probably in the afternoon in the Mountain Time Zone, maybe in the early evening elsewhere if you're watching on the East Coast. And if you're watching from outside of North America, God help you with your time zones, because I have no idea what we're doing. I mean, we're literally recording this on a day where we're falling back anyway. So, by the way, if you're in the Mountain Time Zone and watching in Alberta, here's your friendly reminder: do set your clocks back before you go to bed tonight.
Yep.
That clock right there, yeah, you got to set it back. Set it back.
Going back. Got
to roll it back. Yeah. So, but we got word on these releases, and of course, I've picked up the old text messaging device or whatever. Texted Mr. TL, asked if he wanted to jump on. He graciously obliged, but he is coming into this ice cold. Has no information on who got cut. Has no information on basically what all went down. And so I am going to try, with my assembled knowledge throughout the entire week or so, or not even week, throughout the past couple days or so, to kind of divulge to him, and we'll get his opinion as it happens. So here we go. Tons of fun coming up.
I'm ready. You throw me the name, let me react.
Now, I'm almost wondering, because the Undertaker for this live stream has all of the names of the releases on it. So I'm almost wondering if I should throw that up now or after we do this. I'm thinking about after we do this because it would be easier that way. So
yes,
yeah, or not easier that way, I should say. There would be no how do you say it? There were no spoilers. How's that?
No spoilers. Yeah, you kill the surprise if you just show me the list right up.
Exactly. So, all right. So if you see me flipping, I'm just flipping between two windows here with all the information, but we gonna get going right away. So these cuts were across all brands, and they were announced via social media through all the sites and everything. And then later on, John Laurinaitis from WWE, I think in an email sent out all the details on these cuts, basically saying that these are all payroll cuts, to do with, operation budgets and that stuff and everything. Just a general thought from you to begin with on, this is the third or fourth round of cuts I think we've had this year that they're all attesting to payroll and operation and budgeting.
I don't know what they're running that's so expensive that they need to keep cutting people every time that they turn a profit. It doesn't make sense.
Good point. This was announced the same day that they announced so-called record profits for, I think, the second quarter of the year.
They did? I just made that up.
No. This is legit.
Holy crap! Oh my God. Okay.
This is legit. You just prompted me with that because I knew I was forgetting something with the explanation. That's what I had forgotten. Nick Khan had walked out in an investors call earlier on. He's the new guy that's underneath Vince McMahon right now at WWE. And basically said that, for this, I think it was the second quarter of 2021, they had record profits. They were really happy.
Okay, that's garbage that they would still lay people off for turning a profit. What are they doing that's wasting so much money? Was it the Thunderdome is still paying on that? It's got a mortgage? Unbelievable.
They got to pay for all those flat screen TVs in there.
Oh God! Did they pay for the new paint job they put on NXT? Is that what costs money?
The urbanization of NXT.
I don't know what that was. That's just garbage. You just took somebody and say, "Here's a bucket of paint. Splash it wherever you want. We'll kind of call it NXT."
Yeah. So, all right. So we're gonna start with the cuts. The names of the wrestlers that are cut, and you can tell me opinions. Where do you think they're going to go? So on and so forth. Like I said, they're across all of the brands. So we're talking Raw, SmackDown, NXT, 205 Live, you name it. Surprisingly, there was nobody cut from NXT UK. So that brand was saved from this one. I think it's just because they just recently started going kind of more full tilt again with their tapings and so on and so forth. And they're kind of a little bit separate from WWE anyway.
I was just going to say, that's still a thing?
It still is.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So let's go with the first name. That was Jessie Kamea. She's from NXT, and she had wrestled for a few years with NXT, had a decent kind of heel run alongside of Robert Stone and Frankie Monet and that group in NXT for a little bit, but never really had the chance to, I guess, kind of blossom or show, or there was never really too much character work thrown in with her. So she was one of the names that was cut.
She pretty. I don't know who she is at all. I've never seen her work.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. So that was a purely developmental-esque type cut, I think. So this is also from a list that's no particular order, so we're going to be jumping brands all over the place here, but which makes things a little bit more difficult for me trying to find who the next person is that got cut. Lince Dorado also got cut. Now you remember him as 1/3 of the Lucha House Party. Lucha House Party, yeah, that's right. But this opens up a very interesting thing over in AAA, because we just saw on Dynamite this past week, Samurai Del Sol, the former Kalisto, make his AEW debut as a member of the AAA roster with Lucha Underground's Aerostar as a tag team partner. now with Lince Dorado, and if I can find the other graphic, where did it go? There it is. His tag team partner, Grand Metalik, being cut as well this week. I think the Lucha House Party could be moving to AAA, and all of a sudden, FTR has their, outside of the promotion, luchador tag team to feud with after the Lucha Brothers thing is done.
Okay, you know what's stupid? Just the other day, I was just pissing about on YouTube, and I was watching the Cruiserweight Classic because I freaking love that thing.
It was fun.
Everybody, I swear, is gone from that tournament. Everybody.
Yeah, well, TJP was the winner. He's gone. Kota Ibushi was never in WWE.
Yeah, Kota never made it. They never signed Zack Sabre Jr. Grand Metalik finished second or lost, whatever you want to call it. He's now gone.
He's now gone.
Lince Dorado was one of the good guys that came out of that and helped to build 205, and now he's gone. Yeah. All the Lucha Booty is gone. Dang it. They just don't care about the cruiserweights.
Tony Nese is gone. He's been showing up on AEW Dark and that stuff over the past few weeks. So, I mean, like, that's basically your top 6 or 7 out of that tournament are gone.
Okay, literally the only ones I remember that made a big impact in that tournament that may still be in the company would be Gargano.
Yes.
Ciampa,
yeah.
Fabian Eichner.
Yes.
Gallagher.
Gallagher, I think, is gone. He was like the first cut.
From this?
Not from this, but from like the first round of cuts last year, the COVID cuts.
Oh, I thought he was in like NXT UK or something.
No.
Okay, well, he gone. Cedric Alexander.
Still here.
Okay. So they.
By the way, the first 3 names you named, Gargano, Ciampa, and Eichner, is basically your main event scene for NXT 2.0 right now. So.
Well, there you go. They set up a whole tournament just so they can have 3 guys on NXT 5 years later.
With a weird rebrand.
Makes me sick.
This was an interesting one here, too, that got cut. If I see if I brought that in correctly or not. I think it just ended up being... there we go. The independent wrestler AQA that was in on NXT wrestling as Zeta Raymir, and she wrestled a little bit, had like a kind of an underdoggy type gimmick happening and that stuff, and had some competitive matches on NXT before the rebrand. But I basically just wanted to mention her because I found basically this is, if we were doing this as like a pre-tape and I had to edit it all together, this would be my thumbnail for the entire cuts because this is the greatest of all time.
Oh man.
I don't know. Going back to the Indies. Probably going to be better out there anyway. So.
Oh my God. That is too good. Stop doing that. Okay. You know what? I've never heard of her, but that picture alone is worth it.
She had a decent independent following before she'll go back to the Indies and make a ton of money, so that'll be good.
She'll go to AEW and bolster their women's division.
Well, maybe that too, yeah. So, in a few months or whatever. But I think that, a company like Impact could probably use her as well. They got a very stalwart women's division in Impact right now, so I think she'd fit
around.
Bro.
What? All lights went under. I could only assume something may have happened to Impact.
They just did Bound for Glory, and by all accounts, it was tremendous. I haven't had a chance to sit down to watch Bound for Glory yet, but it was a good pay-per-view from all accounts.
I didn't watch Impact when it was good, so I'm never going to watch Impact.
Oh, man. All right. Jeet Rama also got cut, and this was his most kind of famous or infamous match was he had a dark match with AJ Styles during the Superstar. Actually, not even a dark match. This was televised. This was during that Superstar Spectacle show that they did prior to the Royal Rumble. That was supposed to be a Saudi exclusive show.
Hold on, was that the Saudi exclusive show, or was that like the India show?
Or sorry, the India exclusive show. Yeah, my mistake. That was the India exclusive show that they did. Just prior to the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, okay, I remember seeing this vaguely. I don't remember too much about the guy. I know they were trying to push him as like the kind of the next big Indian baby face, maybe in the company one day. I guess he didn't pan out.
I think he beat Styles in this match, honestly. I think they've had him go over.
Possibly. I don't think any Indians lost in that whole thing.
Yeah. So the one thing that I know about him was he comes from Kali's school. So he's one of great Kali's students.
Oh, he must be of extreme quality then.
Who I think Kali is if you're in India and that stuff, Kali takes you go through Kali's school, and then Kali has a straight pipeline to WWE anyway, so he could bring people over and say, okay, take them for your developmental or whatever, and that's about it.
Okay, wait, just
yeah.
What the hell is Kali going to teach anybody about wrestling? What the hell is he going to teach anybody?
The brain chop.
Lesson 1, Kali chop. Lesson 2, Kali squeeze. Okay, promo class. The great Kali says he's going to beat you in the next match. What the hell is what is he going to teach anybody about professional wrestling? Ridiculous.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just reading off the names. My glasses are fogging up now. This is good. This is going down a direction I did not anticipate here today, everybody, but it's amazing. I love it.
I apologize to all East Indian viewers of this. I am West Indian, so I apologize. But you know shit accurate.
He'll see you on a cricket pitch is where he'll see you.
Oh, you damn right you see me on a cricket pitch. What? Shit.
So another cut that was kind of a head turner this week was Frankie Monet, otherwise known as Taya Valkyrie on the independent scene and that stuff. She is the real life wife of John Morrison. So it was very interesting to see that she was one of the names that got cut. She had a limited run in NXT over the summer. And then since the rebrand, we really haven't seen too much of her. They used her in a angle for the Halloween Havoc special like a couple of weeks ago, and then that basically was the last time we seen her. It was like one of those backstage costume party type throwaway angles, the classic, things that they do on WWE TVs on the Halloween special or whatever.
Okay, speaking of throwaway, that's a throwaway because I didn't even know she was with the freaking company.
She was.
I know her, like she's Lance Storm's one of the best students that he ever had.
Yeah.
Who killed it on the independents, who killed it in Mexico. I think she killed it in Japan too.
Yeah.
Like she's one of the best women's wrestlers of the past 10 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
She was with the company?
She was?
I didn't even know that, let alone now her being released. That's insanity. That's a complete waste. That is a complete friggin' waste of talent right there.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Now, the thing with Taya is she has a very decorated history in Impact. So I think that she'll end up probably heading back to Impact once her 90 days are up. And we'll see her in 2022 in the Knockouts division in Impact, which is pretty awesome because that's a division that has Chelsea Green, Deonna Purrazzo, Mickie James, and now with Taya Valkyrie, if she decides to go back in.
All the names you mentioned had at one point been on NXT.
Yes.
As a prominent place. What the hell are they doing? What are they doing?
This is the purpose of the stream, is to to try and figure that out, but no, we haven't figured it out yet. We're still going through yeah, it's the roster is what it is. So one release that'll make you laugh is well, Eva Marie is now cut by WWE. Eva Marie gone. Goodbye.
Oh God, they brought
Eva
her
Marie
back
was
for no reason, and then they just cut her because I don't know. Why did they put her back in the first place? They know she can't wrestle.
Yeah.
They know she can't do anything. She's literally just eye candy.
She basically was the launching point for Piper Niven, FKA Doudrop on
Doudrop.
Yeah, for her launch on Monday Night Raw, and it turns out that believe it or not, the Doudrop thing is actually sticking with the Raw crowd. So it's kind of like more of a how would you explain it? It's kind of like a they always get behind once in a while, like the some of the weirdest gimmicks and try to push them a little bit. The crowds. The live crowds, at least at the houses and that stuff, like almost like a Santino Marella type thing, where it's like that was a weird gimmick, but he was over. So,
okay, but that being said, Santino Marella would have worked perfectly in the 80s.
Yes,
he was a perfect 80s gimmick.
Yeah.
Doudrop, I don't know.
I'm still giving the Doudrop thing time because it's starting to kind of heat up just slightly week to week on Raw. Like her pops are starting to get a little bit louder and louder. So.
But either way, Eva Marie, God, that's funny.
Yeah, but Eva Marie is cut, yes.
They brought her back for literally nothing.
One that'll send you into orbit as well, and probably one that you didn't even know was signed. At least I didn't know he was signed until he had a couple of dark matches, but then they didn't do anything with him. Was, believe it or not, Harry Smith got cut in this round. Yeah, he was... they brought him back to work a couple of SmackDown tapings, and he actually went over in a couple of dark matches. So they were just basically waiting on either create or maybe deciding to do what they wanted to do with creative, or he was waiting for creative or what direction they were going to take with him. And then he ended up getting cut. Now, Harry could go anywhere because that guy is so freaking talented that he could go AEW, he could go back to Japan, New Japan. Yes.
Rich. Harry's been everywhere.
Yeah.
Ever since they released him, like with the Heart Foundation 2.0, whatever that was.
Yeah.
Ever since he's been gone, he's been everywhere. He's been doing everything. I think he even did some shoot fights at some point.
Yeah.
We were waiting for him to come back like a Drew Galloway.
Mm-hmm.
Who had explored the world, who learned a little bit more,
yeah.
who got some anger and some size on him and figured out some stuff to come back and, reestablish himself. I didn't even know he was signed. Apparently, they gave him a couple of months off TV and said, nope, not feeling it.
They brought him in during the summer, so July, August, and now it's like beginning of November. So
why? Why would they do? Why? Why would you bring back a talent like that, do nothing with him, and then just sweep him under the rug again?
Don't know. That's the thing. A lot of the names on this list, this is the jaw dropper list, Mr. TL. This is like the big names that have been dropped. So I'm going to bring up this is completely deviating from the list that I have, but I'm just working with the graphics that we haven't hit yet, just because I'm finding it a little bit quicker on the stream to go to. And by the way, if you got comments on any of the releases and whatever, everybody, feel free to throw them up in the comments tab over on Facebook, which is downstairs there, if you're watching on Facebook, or YouTube, which is over here. Yes, over here, if you're watching on YouTube. So, yeah. Remember, camera is different than whatever, and so on and so forth. So, here's an interesting story. So, you were watching or if you had a chance to tune into SmackDown recently over the next little bit, and I know you haven't or whatever, but Hit Row got called up from NXT. This was basically Swerve Strickland's new faction.
Sorry,
I say Swerve Scott. We remember him as Shane's
Swerve Strickland on the Indies and that stuff. But this was Swerve Scott's faction, I guess, in NXT. Yeah.
Was he Killshot in Lucha Underground?
Killshot in Lucha Underground, yes.
Love that guy.
Yeah. So they brought him up, basically paired him with the big guy that was hosting the WWE on A&E Hidden Treasure specials that was on.
Okay.
If you had a chance earlier in the year to check it out. If not, they're out there. Find them. They were actually pretty good. And a couple other workers. Well, one of the workers in it was a female wrestler named B-Fab. And B-Fab actually has a background as a recording artist and that stuff. So she mixed their music and recorded their entrance theme and so on and so forth. They basically made the group look like to be a heel version of the New Day. Is what it was. And I was kind of thinking, okay, that's kind of cool. They're going to build these folks up for potentially a Hit Row New Day thing, maybe at WrestleMania or SummerSlam next year down the point, because that's what they do. That's what it happens, right? Well, they bring B-Fab and Hit Row up. They have B-Fab about a week or so ago sign a brand new multi-year contract because she's on SmackDown. It's the main roster deal. And guess what happened to B-Fab? She got cut.
Oh, my God.
She gone.
Oh, my God. Really?
Probably the most hard luck story of all the cuts. She literally signed her main roster contract 1 week prior to being cut by WWE.
How do you get cut 1 week after signing a contract? How does that even work?
No.
Exactly. You signed a contract. Why?
I don't know.
Oh my God. Not showing. Yo, that's fucked up. That is so. And because that's supposed to be the mouthpiece of the group, isn't she? Because she's an actual signed rapper.
Yeah, like R&B artist. So
she's a singer. Okay.
She can rap, sing, you name it. But she wrote and recorded their entrance music that they were
That's
using.
so fucked up. You know what? This is the same thing that happened with who's the little shithead from New Jersey with the spiky hair?
Enzo Amore.
Yeah, Enzo and Cass, when they didn't bring up Carmella with them.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of thing. Why do they keep doing that? They always cut off the female person of the faction from NXT in the jump up.
Something that works in NXT, and then they try to bring it up into the main roster, and for whatever reason, they don't follow the formula.
Ridiculous.
No, this is like, okay, here is the best cake in the world. And all you have to do is buy the cake from the grocery store. All the ingredients are in the kit, and just follow the instructions to a T.
Can I be Vince McMahon?
Go for it.
Shut up! I want the icing off of that cake.
But, sir, it's the best icing in the world. This cake has won awards.
I don't give a damn. My name is Vincent Kennedy. Anyways, but you get the idea.
But yeah, that's what they do. It's literally what they do.
Just take the icing right off that delicious cake and fuck it up. Good job, Vince. Fucking job.
Here's another what could be somewhat of a jaw-dropping name, even though they didn't really use her, but she was starting to pick up some momentum this year and a little bit of last year, even in the Thunderdome and that stuff on NXT. Ember Moon got cut.
Oh, stop! What?
Yeah. So Ember Moon got cut. She had a legendary independent wrestling career prior to WWE, so I think that she could be picked up. I think that's definitely a woman that All Elite will be looking at. I think that that's a woman that even Impact will be looking at too. I'm not sure if Ring of Honor is going to be looking at much of these people because of what we're going to be talking about here a little bit later on. But
okay, mark my words right now as a prediction.
Yeah,
that's going to be one of the biggest fuck ups that the WWE has ever done. Wherever she lands, and I think AEW, she can run a women's division. Run it. Because she's that damn talented, that damn good. and her presentation was like off the charts. The only thing I think that held her back was she got a knee injury and she never really came back into the fold after it.
Yeah. I think it kind of hobbled her. It might have been they might have rushed her back to the ring too quickly after that, and it might have.
But she was up for like an entire calendar year.
If she goes to AEW, we'll find out the full and complete story because everybody who's jumped ship has been on either Jericho's podcast or Busted Open or Observer Live or something like that, and they've come out and just fully said that. And Tony Khan is very transparent with his signings and say, "Yeah, go out there and tell your story." Right. So
whatever the case may be, her and Asuka in NXT was incredible.
Great matches.
Like, this is such a waste. This is such a waste of good talent.
You know what I really liked, and this was recently, was her tag team with Shotzi Blackheart. I thought that was a great tag team that they had in NXT, and then when they took Shotzi and put her on SmackDown, they brought Tegan Nox up with Shotzi as a tag team, and the two had never teamed before on NXT.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Who are the women's tag team champions of WWE right now?
Right now, I'm just trying to remember who it is here.
Exactly.
I can't remember.
The women's tag team division doesn't matter because they don't promote it whatsoever.
I can tell you who the NXT women's tag team champions are because they've been promoting that through the roof since they won the titles at Halloween Havoc. That's
weird, but okay. Who is it?
Yeah, Gigi Ray and she was Priscilla Kelly on the indies. I'm just trying to remember her NXT name, but anyway, those two are there. They're with Mandy Rose and Mandy Rose's new faction. They're called the Toxic Attraction. I didn't mean to be a little or kind of how you say rhyming that, but that's just how it came out. So
Ember Moon, big mistake.
Huge mistake. Yes, absolutely.
They're gonna pay for that one. Okay.
Another NXT cut, someone that wrestled more on 205 Live than anything else was Katarina Cortez, and she kind of drew some interest in that stuff because she was the only, I think, female that was working under a mask since the beginning of her run with NXT, and I think she's from Argentina or something like that. She's from a Latin country or the South American country, I should say. It's completely different, but
Argentina.
Yeah.
You said Argentina.
Yeah. Is that
hang your head in shame?
Is that did I get my geography wrong?
Well, you got your country name wrong, and I just wanted to mock you for it. So, okay. I've never heard of her. I've never seen her work. I thought that was Sexy Star. I don't know.
Kind of has a Sexy Star motif to her, but
well, she's like the original like luchadores with a mask.
She says that she's going to hang around the U.S. for a little bit and that stuff, so we might see her on the Independents, get a little bit of a run in that stuff, and we'll see what happens coming off of that. I totally expect, though, to see her maybe migrate over to work some AEW dark tapings and stuff and everything, because since they're starting to tape that show in Orlando at Universal Studios at the old Impact Zone, now it's like, just easy transportation just to bring them in and that stuff. And
that building is haunted. If they should have known that from the WCW days, they should get the hell out of there.
But it also shot a lot of good Nickelodeon shows in that same studio as well, too. So
I didn't know Nickelodeon did wrestling. Does Nickelodeon do wrestling now?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't wrestling.
It was Nickelodeon Federation of Wrestling.
No, it wasn't wrestling. It was different television, like kids game shows and that stuff that they shot for Nickelodeon in that studio back in the day.
Kids game shows. Okay, listen, that building is haunted for wrestling.
Oh, for wrestling, yes. Okay, it is Wrestling Unlimited, right? So
get the hell out of that building, like Poltergeist.
Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Only Lorcan got cut.
I know the name, but I've never seen him wrestle, and he's awkwardly hairy.
NXT. He actually was an NXT Tag Team Champion, believe it or not.
But like, why do I know the name?
Probably because he was involved in like when the Undisputed Era thing was huge. He was one of the guys that was with Pete Dunne fighting the Undisputed Era.
Oh, is he one of the cronies that was with McAfee?
Yes.
Oh, that's
that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
That too. Yeah.
All right.
From that great War Games match, I think in 2019, where it was McAfee and Dunn and Lorcan and Danny Burch versus Undisputed Era.
Right.
Yeah. So if
okay.
you had a chance, yeah.
That's a bit of a loss there. I bet he's a talented guy. Hope he'll land on his feet. And I don't know. Maybe we'll see him back. Who knows?
Now, before we get to the mega, huge, massive cuts that will send you into orbit, again, and there were a few of those. One more name that's already been signed back to Game Changer Wrestling and has a little bit of independent swagger himself was Trey Baxter, FKA Blake Christian, and he's back now on the independents. He was in NXT for a while, did some stuff on 205 Live, and he will be actually back with Game Changer Wrestling, I think, coming right up. So I think they just had people who are on developmental deals, Mr. TL, they can go back and start working for other promotions and that stuff right away. There's no compete or anything if you had a developmental deal and they just cut you. But if you had like a main roster deal, like poor B-Fab, you have to wait 90 days. That's a kick in the teeth now trying to think about that. Is she just signed, she's for a week, and now she's got to go 90 days through Christmas, basically without a job, if she wants to continue in wrestling.
Yeah, that's pretty awful. Hopefully her music career and stuff does a little something to get her some money, or just doing shows like that. You know what? I just realized on the bright side, a lot of these people, if they were signed over the summer and they got to work for a little bit, at least they got to do so like as we're starting to clear off pandemic stuff. And then now the independents are opening up again. Yes, except for ROH, because we have to get to that later.
We'll talk to that.
At least they can go to these independent shows now and do some wrestling on the like other places than just the big shows. So at least they got a summer paycheck.
Exactly. Okay, are you ready for the nuclear level cuts?
Are you ready? Here's the question.
I know who they are. I'm ready.
All right. Let's hear it.
Nice cuts. So, this is a twisted and sordid story. Because it was reported right after she was cut by the New York Post that the reason that she got cut was not because of budgeting. It was because of her vaccination status for COVID-19.
In what way? She wasn't vaccinated?
That she apparently did not disclose if she was vaccinated and or not to the company.
Oh, so she tried to Aaron Rodgers the situation. Okay. Well,
that's from the Post. So
well,
she's come out. She came out, I think, yesterday and put a statement out there saying that no, the Post article was not true. But then the Post came back out and said, no, we have enough information. We do believe it to be true. So they're still fighting on that end of it, but that's what we know.
It doesn't matter. Here's the story. She was The Rock's cousin. She had a slightly different look. They thought she could work because she's of Samoan lineage. She hurt a lot of girls. She was a weirdo, and good riddance. I hope she never works again. She's awful.
That's it.
I mean, the only thing that would be worth maybe seeing is if she tags up with what's her name in AEW? Her copycat?
Oh, Nyla Rose.
You knew exactly what I said when I said copycat. Yeah. If they either have a match or if they become a tag team. Cool. But other than that, they brought her up way too early. She had way too much success way too fast. They pushed her too hard. It was too much for her. She never learned how to do it right. And she's gone. Good riddance. Goodbye.
We're going to go back through the list here. And we finally got the answer on
a gimmick and an act that they had pulled from NXT earlier in the year and threw up on the main roster, but they kind of separated the act with both Scarlett, formerly Scarlett Bordeaux from Ring of Honor, and Karrion Kross getting cut as well. So I think the writing on the wall for Kross was when they repackaged him with the weird Spartan gimmick on Monday Night Raw, and they cut him. But they never gave him and Scarlett, which was an act that was hot in NXT, a chance on the main roster. Again, this is the whole let's separate the valet from the thing that made the valet work thing, and that was it. So they both are gone. Both? They cut them both, yes.
What the fuck are they doing? Wasn't he NXT champion right before he came up?
Yeah. He lost the belt to Samoa Joe when Joe came back down to NXT. And then when Joe got hurt, that's when they put the belt up and started this NXT 2.0 thing. Which now
he did the honor so he can move up to the show.
Yeah, but they were moving Kross up to the main roster to Raw.
So, okay. I'm just about to do an impression of someone that we know that we're not going to mention, but so.
Oh, okay, now I want to hear who it was, but we'll wait until off air for
that. But so they bring up the NXT champion.
Yes.
Remove him from the girl that helped him get to the top.
Yeah.
Fuck up his character, and then release both of them? The fuck are they doing? Honestly, fuck WWE and their management. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
What are they doing? I don't know.
Oh, God. Okay, that's the last one. That's the last one.
It's the running joke for this thing.
I know.
I don't know. But see, so this is a still. I think this was either after or just after their debut or something. But that was how the act basically. He was essentially Doomsday in NXT. If you're a comic book nerd or whatever, that's or just his Juggernaut with the hot babe, and
yeah, she is baby.
Yeah, and they did the. It worked as a heel group. It worked as a heel pairing, and you threw the title at them. And at first, fans wanted to see him with the belt. He got injured and had to give up the belt for a little bit, but then he came back and was put back into the NXT title scene. Won the title back. This is all this year too. This is all throughout the calendar year of 2021, and it eventually gets released. But he gets moved up to the main roster, without the valet that kind of makes the gimmick work.
It's an absolute waste. They wasted his time. They wasted her time. They wasted their talent. They don't know what they've just given up.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they're going to pay for this one because that act is going to go somewhere else and get over because it got over already and didn't get a chance to in WWE because they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
They had a very good run going in Impact. I could see them moving back to Impact for a little bit. I almost wonder if AEW would take a flyer on them and see what happens. But there's at least a couple of options there for him. And would New Japan take a flyer on Karrion Kross and Scarlett and bring them in? Maybe.
I don't know how or when it's going to happen. I just want to see him wrestle Alistair, what's his face? Black.
Malachi Black.
I want to see them wrestle.
That'd be good. That'd be a good match.
Yeah.
Yep. Two dudes with darker gimmicks. They both do the jiu-jitsu, the MMA style.
Yeah. Like that's legitimately a good match right there.
That'd be fun. That'd be all right. That would be a good.
So who's left to disappoint me here?
Yeah, there's a couple. I'm just trying to figure out which order I want to present them to you. So another real life couple got booted as well, with Mia Yim and Keith Lee getting cut.
Oh God. Okay. Mia Yim.
Yeah.
She was part of the whole
she was reckoning from
yes.
The not Revolution, but you know what I mean. The
Retribution?
Retribution, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, she was part of Retribution. Everyone's like, that's totally Mia Yim. We know who that is by her hair color. We don't.
Yeah.
The mask doesn't help. Okay, yeah, she got released because they don't know what to do with her. Except, hey, how about put her in the ring, let her have a match? You know what women's wrestling is supposed to be. Nope, they don't do shit. Keith Lee, all talent in the world.
Yeah.
Vince just apparently doesn't get it. He doesn't understand that a big dude can have a brain. He wants a big dude to be the Hulk, just stupid and dumb, and big man smash. He can't think of a smart big man. So he never got his head around it. He couldn't wrap around it. He couldn't mold it into a Vince McMahon character.
Yeah.
And so there goes the Bearcat, who's going to go and get over in another company. And the W said, what did we, why couldn't we do this? Because they're stupid. God.
Again, New Japan, AEW, probably looking at them both. You know, maybe even Impact as well, something like that. I mean, there's not hundreds of places to go, but there's quite a few for talent like that. You know, and yeah, Keith Lee, the whole repackaging and the whole deal, that's just absolutely not.
That's another one. DJ Khaled, another one of NXT great gimmicks that get chopped off at the knees in WWE when they get to the top roster. Fuck them up, let them go.
So now I can do this in the stream. Woo, Undertaker! And bring it up because that's a full list. This is so at the bottom of the screen is the full list of all the cuts that we had talked about. Please feel free to throw comments. And where do you think these people will go on? You know, where would you like to see them end up? Would you like to see, you know, like Mr. TL said, a dream match between Malachi Black and you know, Killer Cross or Karrion Kross or whatever going forward? So.
I'm sorry.
So we'll throw that up.
Oh, the Undertaker thing just killed me. I'm sorry.
It's the deal. It's the deal. That's what we do.
Oh, God. It was the voice. It was the fact I didn't see it coming. Whenever this gets loaded as a real video, I'm going to go back and watch that again.
Well, it'll be available to watch probably within an hour as this stream wraps up. That's how it goes. So it takes an hour for everything to encode, and then we start getting the on-demand views, which is the big thing. And if you're watching these streams later on, that's awesome because that's where the majority of the views have come from these since we started doing them is the on-demand views. So yeah, that's great. You know, if you're watching live, awesome. You can comment live and we can post comments and whatever. If you're not watching live, don't worry. Just comment in the box below, and at the next one, we'll get you. We'll get you comments. Don't worry.
We need to get a patent on Undertaker.
Quick shout outs before we move on to the Ring of Honor stuff. I am just going to shout out tinyurl.com/Nitromaniac TV. Of course, that's the quick URL link for everything. Go click it, bookmark it, and watch for, you know, live stream updates as they happen, you know, as we do these throughout the month and that stuff. Like I said, Full Gear coming up, Survivor Series coming up, NXT whatever coming up, and Ring of Honor Final Battle coming up, which again we're getting to here shortly on the thing we'll talk about.
So just to make sure, those were all the cuts from WWE.
What's going across the screen is what we know.
Okay.
Yes.
So I guess in a way it's kind of trimming some of the fat, but they threw out a lot of good talent in that fat. They just didn't present it as such. So it seems minuscule, but some of those names are absolutely not. No. And WWE are giving away golden nuggets right there, and they don't even know it. That's the sad part. They don't even know it.
Now the question is how many of these people, some of the bigger name talent, were still on developmental style deals where they can show up in other promotions right away versus how many were on main roster deals and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's a good question. Not too sure about that at all. But apparently, if you can sign a contract, it doesn't fucking matter. They can still cut you.
I guess we just watch next week on AEW TV and see if they announce another Casino Royale Battle Royal or something like that. And
this time, it's 5 wild cards.
All of the wild cards. Everything.
Well, 5 jokers.
5 jokers. Exactly. I also want to give a quick shout out to friends of the channel, Spencer Love and twitch.tv/lovewrestling.ca. They put on a great show October 15th at the Rec Room here in Edmonton. It was Love Wrestling Changed the Game. I was going to have a video compilation from that night put together, just like a quick highlight package and put it up here on the channel and that stuff. The problem is that the second half of the show, the video corrupted on my phone. So I'm trying to figure out how to fix that and bring it in and so on and so forth. So if I ever get that fixed, you'll see it. It'll be on the channel because the project's about half done. And it's literally like everything up until intermission was great,
nice.
Video wise and that stuff. Everything after intermission corrupted as all hell on the phone. So I have to figure out if I got to just change the format of it or something or whatever. But yeah, that's kind of the thorn in the side of my butt right now is that. So
hey, shit happens,
Yeah. Make me sad. That's it. But yeah, they put on a great show. That show should be available here over the next month or so. Watch your timelines and just follow Love Wrestling over on Twitter at Love Wrestling, and they'll be able to announce when that show will be available on YouTube or whatever streaming service that they're going to pick to put the full show up, because I know they were supposed to do a live stream of it, but for whatever reason, they had issues getting the stream out of the venue. It's a brand new venue. It never had a wrestling event in there before, but the venue looked great. I don't know if you've ever been there, Mr. TL, but it was the Rec Room off of South Edmonton Common on the south side.
I've driven by that so many times and have never actually been inside the building.
It's a phenomenal venue. Like the theater room that they had for the event, it's not a type of theater where you walk in and you go down and there's seats and stuff like that. It's a type of event, venue that you walk in and everything kind of goes up and is stacked. So there's literally like 4 or 5 rows of people going up and down from the building, ringside. Like it's like almost like every seat was a ringside seat, but you were not seating, you were standing, and you were not seated, you were standing, and everything just kind of went up, which was really cool.
So wait, how do you see the ring then?
Yeah.
No, like how do you see it? You just have to look up.
Oh, it depends on the ring's down on the ground on the floor, and you can just kind of lean over the balcony and see what's up if you're higher up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like kind of like the Hammerstein Ballroom?
Kind of, sort of, yes. Except a little bit more narrower. It honestly felt more like the Thunderdome from not the WWE Thunderdome, but it felt like the Thunderdome from the movie Thunderdome.
Oh, okay.
Where everybody's kind of stacked up,
Okay. Gotcha.
So it was good. Yeah, that had a great time with that. And we will definitely have Spencer on the channel in the future to promote the next one whenever that will be. Wink.
Cool.
Which will happen. Wink. So, so there will be a next one. So, last little thing I want to talk about here is I want to put my thoughts out there for Ring of Honor. They announced that they are going on hiatus after Final Battle. I believe I'm just going to do a quick Google here on when the date is for Final Battle. And that will be its last pay-per-view as announced right now for the company, as we know it, on December 11th, 2021 from Baltimore, Maryland. And it's kind of a sad deal to see that promotion go by the wayside, because I followed that promotion since 2002 through DVDs and through the tape trades and so on and so forth. And this was, of course, the proving ground for guys like Samoa Joe, CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, later on, Jimmy Jacobs, Tyler Black, which ended up being Seth Rollins, and so on and so forth.
up until, you know, even a few years ago with the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Adam Cole, Bebe, so on and so forth, of all just the talent, the worldwide talent, and of course the agreements with New Japan's the first North American appearances of Shinsuke Nakamura and you know, Minoru. I'm not sure if Suzuki made it over there. I know for sure that Shibata made it on one of the final, on one of the final battle cards for sure. Great Muta came over and wrestled in the early days of Ring of Honor and so on and so forth. Abdullah the Butcher. This is a company that has huge history. And I'm hopeful that whatever restructuring that Sinclair Broadcasting, which is the parent company of Ring of Honor, does is successful in that they could relaunch. But the reason why Ring of Honor is doing this right now is that their parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting, is in financial trouble because rather than lay anybody off during the pandemic and whatever, they did the honorable thing and actually paid their employees and they paid their talent throughout the pandemic to continue working from home and so on and so forth. So by doing the right thing and that stuff, ultimately it wasn't the best thing business wise for them, because now they're starting to cut different properties, and that's if Ring of Honor looks to be on that chopping list from Sinclair, which is kind of a smaller version of Fox, which is weird, but anyway, it's kind of a sad deal, but we wait and see. Like I said, December 11th, 2021 will be the final battle as we know it. We might see the promotion back in some form in the spring. We may never see the promotion back in some form. But my favorite Ring of Honor memory was a couple of years ago, I was able to go check out the G1 Supercard at MSG. And that was the high point for Ring of Honor wrestling, because that was the apex of the Ring of Honor New Japan Pro Wrestling partnership. And they drew 18,000 or so to MSG on WrestleMania weekend. They outdrew the Hall of Fame that was happening the same night that WWE had going at Barclays Center. They ran a wrestling event in Madison Square Garden the same weekend as WrestleMania, and they had no affiliation with WWE whatsoever. And they killed it. It was a phenomenal show from top to bottom. And I hope for the best, and keep an eye out for a lot of the talent that Ring of Honor has or had, that was working on the show. Support them if they show up on the independents and that stuff. I know that one of their big talents, Danhausen, just recently suffered a broken leg on a independent show somewhere. So his 2021 is done and over with right now. But he's got a GoFundMe up to help, pay medical expenses and whatever and that stuff. But he's got a big career ahead of him for sure. This is the same company that brought back PCO in his age of like the mid 50s or so. And he is just, the former Quebecer Pierre Carl Ouellette, and let him do his entire Frankenstein-esque type gimmick and made him into one of the hottest independent stars out there right now across the board. So still a lot of guys, a lot of girls in that company working with a ton of upside, and we'll see them elsewhere if Ring of Honor discontinues or is no longer a thing, but just kind of a sad deal. That's all.
Yeah. I'm going to add a few more names to that of those who cut their teeth, I guess, in Ring of Honor, who then went on to be bigger names. Guys like Kevin Owens, guys like Sami Zayn, guys like AJ Styles. A lot of those acts, I mean, ROH built up what ended up being the main event for NXT, for Raw, and for SmackDown. They were the ultimate farm team, as they sent up people, their best anyways, to the main show, to WWE. They put on an honest product, and they did the best they could with what they had, They had great minds working for them. I mean, at one point they had Jim Cornette.
Yeah.
One of the greatest minds in wrestling. And that's probably the last time we'll ever see him do like booking or anything of that stature. And he did it there at Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor will always be infamous for the fact that they were the wrestling promotion that was featured in the film The Wrestler.
Boom.
One of the very notorious films that was Oscar nominated and all that stuff, and picked up a lot of buzz for the business. And ROH was the name on the side of the ring for that show, for that movie. It is, you know what, because of how I saw a lot of companies go down during the pandemic, and they say things like taking a hiatus or taking a break, or it's supposed to be light language, but you read between the lines and you kind of see like, nah, that's kind of it. You like, if Dwayne Johnson didn't buy the XFL, that was it for them. So unless somebody else comes along and like resurrects financially ROH, that very well could be the end of them. And that's really sad, because that is one less place for wrestlers to go and to ply their craft, to do what they love to do, and to also have a place to learn how to do what they want to do. It's one less place to go. So now you have people who are going to try and spread out to other independents, or they're going to try and get into other companies, or they're going to try and go and get funneled into the NXT system that doesn't work. It just doesn't. And it's really, really sad that it is one less place for the boys and the girls to go and work. And it's basically, you know, how people lost their job in the pandemic. This is like an aftermath of that. And you see also guys like Bubba Dudley, who was he the main booker for ROH?
For a while, yeah. I'm not sure if he had anything to do with their current lineup or whatever, but since after the start of AEW, and they lost Hangman Adam Page and all the Elite crew and that stuff, and Cody Rhodes and everything like that, Bubba Dudley basically was the next anointed booker that took. He was the booker for Ring of Honor when they did the G1 Supercard at MSG.
Yeah, but
between him and the New Japan office that booked that show. So,
right,
yeah.
But you see, I mean, like, he has a good mind for the business, and now where's he going to use it? Where's that brain going to go? Otherwise, like, to podcast to talk about wrestling again. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Well, he's got a satellite radio show, so he's doing okay. But
no, but I'm saying it's just that, like, now there's one less product without like a big brain behind it. Hopefully that spawns into a job for him at one of the bigger wrestling companies. Hopefully, but it does. And as for like best Ring of Honor memories, honestly, anytime that Bryan Danielson wrestled somebody interesting, you got a damn show. Yeah. Whether it was Lance Storm or he went against Kurt Angle in ROH, didn't he?
Yep.
Yes, he did.
Sure did.
I mean, CM Punk, Samoa Joe, Kevin Steen, El Generico, like all these guys that just passed through and went through ROH. And also, there is one other thing you have to remember as well. Yeah. All In was the pay-per-view that started off AEW.
Yeah.
All In had a lot of ROH guys go and help with that show. If there was no ROH help, All In would not be the success that it was. There may not be an AEW. That's how important ROH was as a farm league.
Yeah. So
the business lost a great asset as a whole with that company. If this is the end of them, it's just sad all around. Also, I forgot to name it throughout there. Colt Cabana. That was another guy.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Good times, great memories. Definitely. Yeah. So
that's all I got to say about ROH. Sad stuff, man.
Upcoming on Nitromaniac TV's Wrestling Unlimited in the days after
December 11, 2021, I will have the Nitro's take on that event. We have 6 matches confirmed for Ring of Honor Final Battle 2021, I should say. That's have been confirmed for the card. I'll run through it right now. And this is, of course, they had just done a bunch of tapings, so they're still working through building up these matches for the pay-per-view in Baltimore. But for the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship, Roxy, who's the champion, will take on one of 4. They're having a tournament right now for a number 1 contendership, it sounds like. So it'll be either Willow Nightingale, Allison Kay, Mandy Leone, or Trisha Dora. Those are the 4 semifinalists. And so obviously in the upcoming weeks of ROH television, we'll see who ends up going to Final Battle to take on Roxy for the Women's World Championship. Bandito, who is the world champion in Ring of Honor, will take on AAA's Flamita. And this is a feud that has been tearing up Mexico over the past year. So that's a huge get for their first North American match to be in Ring of Honor. That's going to be incredible. Dragon Lee will take on EC3 for the World Television Championship. We talked about cuts from WWE and that stuff. That's where Ethan Carter deferred EC3 has ended up and has been nothing but awesome for Ring of Honor since heading over there. So some pretty cool stuff. And Dragon Lee, I love watching his stuff since New Japan. This is what I picked up watching him. So that's pretty cool. There is a 6-man tag that's been signed between 3 of the top stars from AAA, Flamita, Bandito, and Ray Horace. So Flamita doing double duty, it looks like, on this show at this point. This is, of course, is like 3 weeks out from 4 weeks out from the pay-per-view. So we'll see if that changes. First, the Shane Taylor promotion. So Shane Taylor, Moses, and Cone. We got Josh Woods, the champion of the ROH Pure Championship, versus Tracy Hot Sauce Williams. And of course, the ROH Pure title is one of the most unique titles in pro wrestling because you have a limited amount of you have a limited amount of rope breaks in these matches. I think each match is under a 20-minute time limit, and there's quite a few stipulations that make it very interesting. And this is, of course, the kind of the midst of the relaunch of the ROH Pure title that was so popular in the early 2000s when Ring of Honor was a strictly straight to DVD company, and you had to trade DVDs with people to see what was up on the next show and everything like that. People like AJ Styles have held it, CM Punk have held it, so on and so forth. So it's a pretty big belt. And it's they also have a World Tag Team Championship match signed. It looks like it's a freeway. So we got Violence Unlimited, Homicide, and Chris Dickinson. We've got Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, and we have Dragon Lee and Kenny King going at it. So we got some guys doing some double duty here. I almost wonder if this is like 4 weeks out. There's some storylines that still need to finalize and that stuff. So that's just your preliminary, what you got to look forward to. Now, the big thing is this. If this is going to be the last show for Ring of Honor, Final Battle 2021, do you have the ability now with the partnerships and that stuff, and the forbidden door is now open. You could possibly bring back guys like Danielson, Punk, some very influential people to Ring of Honor's early days to either make an appearance on said show and or wrestle on said show. So who knows?
I have a feeling that as they get closer to the show, they're going to have a better idea of whether or not they're going to be on a hiatus or whether they're actually done. Mm-hmm. And in doing that, I'm going to predict they're going to have like a ECW One Night Stand type of ending.
That'd be cool.
Where they have all the guys come, like most of the alumni come back, and you'll see Young Bucks and Cody and Adam Cole and CM Punk and Danielson. You might see a surprise by Samoa. They'll give that big kind of ROH send-off.
That'd be awesome if they just all gathered and they all fought. And that's how the show went off the air.
It's just everybody fights. That's it.
No, it's Ring of Honor. Honor. They all have to shake hands all at once.
Oh, that'd be cool. It looked like they're going to fight, and then it's like, oh no.
They all have to shake hands.
There we go. Yes, exactly. And Jack Evans can do his little flippy off the top of the thing, and that's.
And Teddy Hart can do a triple jump moonsault
from the top of a 40-foot cage or something.
Yeah,
ridiculously high those cages were back in early ROH days.
And then he's really hurt, but he actually no-sells it for some reason.
Well, at this point in the game, people might want him to hit the ground and split his head open. That's the thing. So.
Right?
Yeah, no
Weird,
kidding.
Weird.
Not a whole lot else I want to get caught up on here this week. I want to thank you for your time as always, come in and hanging out with us on the stream and that stuff. Still got to get caught up on Heels a little bit, but that series is phenomenal. Go check it out. It's on Stars. Watch it from front to back and everything. I still gotta watch past the 1 week hiatus they took. Remember, they took that week off in what was it, late September, early October, whatever it was.
Good sir.
And I haven't watched anything since that.
Sir, the season has ended.
Yeah.
And you haven't caught up?
I have not caught up, no.
And they have announced that there will be a season 2. It was announced on Twitter.
Oh, there will be a season 2.
There will be a season 2, which I'm happy about. Good show, man. Good show.
Great success. That's good. Awesome. And that's another way too, where like a lot of well-known wrestling stars and that stuff can make some money now and that stuff. If you got shows like that, come in and make a cameo appearance.
They have to be good actors, though. They have to be good actors.
Exactly. Like upcoming, I haven't seen the episode. It's my next one in the queue here and that stuff. But I think the next one has Luke Hawx from the NWA, and that was a pretty big grab for them. So,
yeah.
So, anyways, that's all I've got for right now.
That's all I
got. How can they follow you on social media?
As always, you can get me only on Twitter, exclusively on Twitter at TMLOUTAN. That is TM Loudon. Because I want to smoke, baby. Don't smoke.
Do you got to smoke? I don't know.
Oh, God.
I don't know.
And my last appearance on Nitro's Wrestling Podcast.
You can follow me on Twitter at Kellen Nitro. You can follow me on Instagram at Kellen Nitro. Everything is at Kellen Nitro across the board. And like I said, watch as the space behind me and that stuff changes throughout the months, and try to get a little bit more. Just make some changes, make it a little bit more racy and a little bit more, wrestle-centric, I guess. And we'll get it going on over the next little bit. But we are not going anywhere. Just, other things are happening. So devoting some attention to that and that stuff. But we will be here to discuss all the stuff. I guess look forward to, next weekend already is AEW Full Gear. And then we got Survivor Series after that. And then whatever happens in December with all the stuff we talked about. And then, already into January. And then New Japan will be doing their Wrestle Kingdom stuff. So crazy.
Let's look forward to.
And then it's Rumble season, baby. Rumble season. Yes. Rumble season. And we'll have to. Do they have enough for even a full Rumble this year on both sides? That'll be the question.
The first 15 to get kicked out lose their jobs.
Man.
That
would be a great visual, just having Vince by the entrance ramp, and as they walk by, you're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
Get the hell out of my arena.
By the end of the men's rumble, his voice is just absolutely gone and hoarse.
It's always gone and hoarse.
Yeah. So, all right. Later, folks. Happy wrestling watching. We'll catch you next time here on Nitromaniac TV's Wrestling Unlimited. Do take a car.